Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome to Season 2 of Vampyre Clan in ClanGen. In the last episode, the vampires continued their uneventful hibernation in Leaffall, but things took an interesting turn when Ibis Freckle was caught hunting on vampire hunter territory and was chased out by an incensed rival. We are now picking up on the first turn of Leafbear, and it is Moon 81. So let's dive in and take a look at what happens next. You know, I really like Leaffall, but something about Leafbear in the ruins I find so stunningly beautiful. And you would think that when everything is covered in snow, typically that is when you would go into hibernation, but apparently our vampires feel kind of differently. When it's cooling, that's when they can't be bothered to do anything, but when it's cold, oh, that gets them going. So it seems as though we have quite a few things to look at today, so let's get into it. Twilight Fade stares, curious. He can't feel the spasms racking his paralyzed half, but Owlfeather seems worried anyway, completely focused on massaging them out. Oh, Twilight Fade. I feel like it would be even worse in the cold. And then Sunnytail was taking some prey from the fresh kill pile, only to find a horde of rats. While Sunnytail managed to fight off every last rat, he got injured in the process. I hope it's not a rat bite, because rat bites can be very dangerous, and I think we've had cats die from rat bites too. So I'm a little bit worried about that. I think it's because we had so much prey that had piled up, but it makes sense, right? We're going into Leafbear, we need all the food. At least it was some excitement. And then the most exciting part. Nest gives Eaglepaw a friendly nudge when the leader calls the young cat's name. He watches with pride as Eaglepaw steps forward to receive his new name, Eagledawn, and is honored for his valor. That is such a cool name, like Eagledawn. Eagledawn, that's amazing. I was not expecting something that cool. But let's go ahead and take a look at Eagledawn. He is such a beautiful cat. Like, oh my goodness. I did find him cute as a kitten, but in all honesty, he did not look nearly as pretty when he was a kitten and when he was a fledgling as he does now. Look at his young adult self. It is gorgeous. Like, my goodness. But he has retained his adventurous personality, his somewhat clairvoyance, which is kind of interesting. And I think the seasons becoming colder and changing and being so vastly different from the greenery of a new leaf and green leaf would add to his sense of adventure, which is very nice. But let's see what he learned from his father. So he was mentored by Nest. Nest influenced him to be more likely to be cold towards others, avoid a fight, behave erratically, and have strong inner morals. When he graduated, he was honored for his valor. Okay, he's got some very fascinating things going on. I feel like it's a lot of opposite things going on for him. And Nest is childish, so I suppose it kind of makes sense that he's given kind of like every bit of random advice he could think of. He's thrown that to Eagledawn. We'll have to see what Eagledawn kind of embodies as he gets older. But that's very, very intriguing. Very intriguing. But I really, really like him. Also, I forgot to add this to his notes, but he graduated as the only fledgling in his batch, and so he has the title of the Eagle Prince. So this, guys, is actually the first time we've had a prince in a long time. I think the last one was Pine Speck. He was our Pine Prince. But our Eagle Prince, not only is he beautiful, he's got a beautiful name, he's got an amazing title. I love him so, so much. It needs to go over here. I'm going to make sure I add his title right over here. But okay, let's go back and check up on the Medicine Cat Den. Owlfeather was given time as treatment for lasting grief. Owlfeather gathered mallow this moon. Okay, I don't think... Oh, thank goodness. Sunnytail only has a tournier. He does not have a rat bite. And Twilight Fade is a little bit sore. Aww. Okay, let's see what's going on in relationships. Grandmaster Bluestar stands up for Master Quiet Flight on a border patrol when confronted by another clan. They must have been confronted by the hunting clan that we came across in the last episode, where Ibis Freckle kind of went out of bounds to hunt bunnies where she shouldn't have been. So I think maybe they were trying to patch up that situation. Grandmaster Bluestar talks with Iris Freckle about some clan drama. You know what? Typically we say that the clan drama is a negative thing that happens, like the previous negative thing, or if there isn't anything beforehand, the next negative thing. But 100%, I feel like within the current story we're working with, she went to Ibis Freckle to talk about her very questionable choices and the confrontation that she had to go through early in the day. When Burnleaf tells Bloomrise about a goal he has, Bloomrise snickers at it. Fornest laughs a little too long at one of Burnleaf's jokes. Burnleaf and Twilight Fade had a disagreement on how to raise kids. Oh. I mean, Burnleaf just had a thing where Bloomrise was snickering at him, and I don't think he's been able to get along with her well enough. Since the very beginning of this season, they've kind of seen that. They've always had a little bit of disagreement. I think Bloomrise got a little bit annoyed at the fact that Burnleaf wasn't believing her when it came to Ibis Freckle, and so she has backed off on that topic, but she has stopped trying with Burnleaf as much, and they seem to misunderstand each other a lot. And I think Burnleaf took that to heart, and so he is maybe trying to tell his mate Twilight Fade that sometimes the parents should step in and have a stronger guiding hand with how their offspring are. Otherwise, they end up being mannerless and rude, and obviously Twilight Fade does not feel that way about his daughter. Owlfeather and Twilight Fade have a misunderstanding that makes them grumpy for the rest of the day, and then obviously Twilight Fade has taken that bad conversation with Burnleaf, and then he was talking with Burnleaf's daughter, Owlfeather, who typically he gets along with, and who has been helping him quite a bit with his paralysis, but I think he would misunderstand something that she said because he's still feeling upset from, his conversation with Burnleaf. Wow. Okay. Twilight Fade learns how much effort Grandmaster Bluestar put into learning something. Master Quietflight thinks Grandmaster Bluestar has interesting things to talk about. Master Quietflight thinks the clan's ancestors smile upon Ibis Freckle. Of course you do. You know what? I almost feel like even if Quietflight found out that Ibis Freckle did something wrong, she's almost putting her daughter on a pedestal. It kind of makes sense because Ibis Freckle is the next oldest child she has after the death of Pinespeck, but still, she puts her on a pedestal. Owlfeather was flattered by Master Quietflight's politeness this morning. Owlfeather asks Eaglepaw if her fur looks clean. Bloomrise tells Sunnytail that his pelt is shiny today. These two I feel like are really good friends. I noticed them spending a lot of time together. Sunnytail was woken up early by Eaglepaw. Ibis Freckle and Eaglepaw chat about clan news. Fornest bickered about something trivial with Sunnytail. Eaglepaw keeps pacing around the clearing late at night, and Bloomrise is the only one who notices. Oh, I wonder if this was the day before he became a Mistwalker, and so he was kind of nervous, which is why he was pacing around. Because the next thing we have is Eagledon. Doesn't get why Burnleaf gets big juicy prey just because of his age. Eagledon, it's okay, my bud. It's okay. At least you get to go out and do hunting. I mean, Burnleaf, he's stuck in the ruins. I think we should be appreciative about that. But okay, that is all we managed to get done with events. Let's move on to the cat list. Okay, let's see what the cats are doing for the day. The first thing I want to quickly show you guys, I did go ahead and add this descriptor for him. So we have a trace of him being the only fledgling and graduating as the Eagle Prince. So there we go. The other thing I wanted to take a look at was his loyalty, because as Mistwalker, we now get to see whether or not he is loyal to the current Grandmaster and what his feelings are on that. I did go ahead and check, and guys, Eagledon is not a loyalist of Grandmaster Bluestar, so he very much follows in the footsteps of his father Fornest and his grandfather Burnleaf. So are all the boys, or most of the boys, and his aunt Ibis Freckle, they're on one side basically. And I suppose Eagle Dawn agrees with their viewpoint that they shouldn't really be friends with the vampire hunters, or they shouldn't be controlled by the vampire hunters. I mean, recently his aunt just had an incident with them. Accidentally, I think she would have told him, crossing into their territory and then being chased by them and almost like really badly injured by them. But obviously that is not what actually happened. Eagle Dawn, yes, was at the patrol, but I think in the frenzy of everything, he might have misunderstood the situation, and Ibis Freckle obviously knew why Bloomrise was not going ahead. She knew that something was not right because that bunny was not in their territory at all. However, Ibis Freckle later on told Eagle Dawn that she was so excited by the bunny, she kind of mistook the fact that the area she was heading to was not within their territory. She wasn't paying attention, basically. So I think Eagle Dawn would feel as though the hunters are violent for no reason towards the vampires. But also, guys, Eagle Dawn was a fledgling around the time Alfeather, was it Alfeather? Yes. Around the time Alfeather brought in a litter of newborn kittens for the vampires to drink from. And those kittens were killed, right? So Eagle Dawn has kind of grown up getting a taste of what it means to be a vampire. And I think he would not appreciate vampire hunters trying to restrict their actions and hold them back from their true nature. So if Ibis Freckle makes an argument that it is completely against, well, their nature as vampires to make peace with the hunters, I think Eagle Dawn in his naivety would kind of listen to his aunt and listen to his father and listen to his grandfather. And Burnleaf, I feel like Burnleaf still holds the fact that the hunters killed his daughter Fire Ivy against them, and unlike Bluestar, he doesn't want to make peace, he wants to go to war with them. But obviously Bluestar feels like that is a cycle of life and death she does not want to get caught in for the next generation. Like, what if her grandson Eagle Dawn is caught up in that? What if the rest of her children, Alfred and Sunnytail, are caught up in that? She doesn't want to risk it. She wants to end the cycle of violence. So many things happening just because Eagle Dawn does not agree with his grandmother's policies. Okay, now let's go ahead and see what everyone's doing for the day. Grandmaster Bluestar is picking the birds from her pelt. Master Quietflight always manages to turn the mood into a lighter one. Alfeather is sharing tongues with Burnleaf. Sunnytail is wondering what the inside of a two-legged den looks like. Ibis Freckle brags about her latest exploits to any cat that will listen. See, look at that, she's bragging. She's bragging about getting that bunny. But I think if her nephew asks her a little bit too closely whether or not that was intentional, she would deny it. Fornest wonders if he would be better as a whisper instead. Bloomrise sneezes when a snowflake lands on her nose. Let's see, Eagle Dawn got startled by a squirrel. Burnleaf pulls Sunnytail aside and starts grooming him despite his protests. Oh, that's really cute because Sunnytail is his son, and I don't see them spending too much time together, but I love that. Twilight Fade is humming a tune he heard near a two-leg place, and that is all we have for the cat list. Now let's dive into patrols. So we currently have 149.4 prey. We only need 25. I mean, we're comfy on food, which is great in Leaf Bear, but Sunnytail was attacked by a rat. We might have more issues with rats going forward if we continue to hoard food. So hopefully they focus on something else. We'll see. We'll send out Alfeather first off. Alfeather pads along, mouth open slightly as she scents for any traces of herbs. Oh, she can smell some raspberries nearby, but it seems that they're just over the border. Don't make this mistake. She pads over to the border and hesitates only momentarily before crossing. She quickly gathers some of the berries, making sure to leave plenty for Gosma Clan's medicine cat if they need some too. Or, well, yes, they don't have a Nightstalker, they have medicine cats. We have a Nightstalker. Relations with Gossamer Clan have improved. A raspberry was gathered. Nice! Starfeather's kind of patching up with what her sister-in-law is ruining. And then we have our patrol of 6. We have Master Quiet Flight, Blue Star, Ibis Freckle, Fawn Nest, Bloomrise, and this is gonna be the first ever patrol of Eagle Dawn as a Mistwalker. So I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. It starts snowing soon after the patrol sets out, trying to bring back something, anything for the fresh kill pile. Okay, they still decided to go hunting. Proceed. A storm descends, sudden and violent, putting an end to any other thoughts but survival. As the cats hide under shrubbery of a sheltered valley, Bloomrise keeps an eye out for everyone. It's a long couple of hours, but with gentle understanding and compassion, the cats make it through safely, closer than ever afterwards. Bloomrise! Guys, whether it's hunting or it's helping out all the cats stay safe like during a storm, Bloomrise feels like a main character at this point. Everything is about Bloomrise. And she's one of my favorite cats, so that kind of makes me really happy. But okay, we, I think, did really, really good. That was kind of terrifying as a first patrol of Eagle Dawn as Mistwalker, but I think things are pretty good. Also, guys, now that we don't have any youngsters left in the clan, I am going to be playing off camera until we get a pregnancy notice, and then we're gonna come back and resume, because that's the exciting part, right? Us having kittens and raising the kittens. So that's what I'm gonna do, but I will take notes about everything that happens off camera, and I will make sure to update you guys on all the changes when we do come back. So I'm gonna leave off there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.